Hello, everyone. My name is Dave. Effective communications for people in a hurry. And that doesn't mean just us. That means the people we're communicating may need an update and they're in a hurry. So there's some tips I'm going to share with you that can serve both you as the communicator and the other person as the receiver of that communications. We're going to talk about some key principles in the idea of communicating for people in a hurry. We're then going to come up with a couple of strategies for you, or a few strategies for you to use. And then I'm actually going to give you some examples. So I'm not just going to say, here's some principles, here's some strategies, good luck. I want to give you a couple examples that you may be familiar with, that may occur to you, or happen at work, or that you've had experience with. And I want to share those with you so that you'll have examples of how to apply the key principles as well as the strategies. The key principles are to be clear. Clarity is really important. When you are sending a message, no matter how you're sending it, whether it's text, email, voicemail, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that you're very clear in that communications. So this is a place where you don't want to have anything have to be interpreted one way or the other. Part of that is going to be concise. Be very specific, make it nice and tight. This is a place where you don't need a story or storytelling per se. You do want to give people a reason why you're communicating a message, but when you're in a hurry or the people you're communicating with are in a hurry, you want to make sure your message is concise. And you also want to make sure it's complete. Make sure that it's a complete message, something that they can take action on without any real interpretation. Because if they need interpretation, that might be for a larger, longer message. Just think of the 3 C's as the key principles for communicating for people in a hurry. You want to make sure your communications is clear, make sure it's concise, and it's a complete message. Now, some strategies in how to use these. One is prioritize your message. Make sure when you're giving the message, you're giving the person your priority. So if you need something that's in a hurry, you need it right away, let them know. And don't just say, hey, I need this fast. Give them a date, set a time. Make sure they know when it is that you're talking about. And use the technology. In other words, if you expect them to send you a text, tell them, please message me. I'm going to be driving. I won't be able to answer your phone. Could you please text message me? Or send it in an email. That way I can keep track of the flow. Or sending in a Teams message. When you're communicating in a hurry, technology can be really used well. Now, there are cautions to that, right? Again, but because we're being concise and complete and very clear, we're not going to leave anything for interpretation, then we shouldn't have to worry about interpretation of intent or maybe need a bunch of emojis to express how we are. And again, I'm going to show you some examples. And then practice brevity. Be very brief and to the point. That's where that being concise comes in. Again, I want to show you some examples. When we think about how we're going to communicate, we're going to use the 3 C's. And our strategy is to prioritize when we make the message, let people know how important this is to us. We're going to use technology, get back to me via text or email or whatever. And maybe not even use or. I'm just using that as an example. Try to be, again, concise. Please, I need this in an email. Please respond via text. And then practice brevity. Keep it short. I need this now, and I look forward to receiving it. Let me give you some examples. I think that's really going to help you to make this whole concept clear. First example is you have a personal emergency. The scenario is that you need to leave work. You need to leave work urgently due to a family emergency. First, how are you going to communicate that? So you're obviously in a hurry, but you have to leave the message and make sure that it's concise, complete, clear. I have a family emergency and need to leave immediately. Please cover my 2 p.m. meeting and email me any urgent updates. I'll check in as soon as possible. So it's very concise, very tight, right? We kind of, some people, when we think about concise, we kind of make the analogy that it's a tight message. I've indicated how urgent it is. I said, it's a family emergency. I need to leave immediately. Boom. Tells the person what it is and that you have to leave right away. What do I need from the person I'm communicating this? I'm asking you, please cover my 2 p.m. meeting and email me with any updates. So I'm giving you an action that I'm expecting. And I'm expecting use technology, use email. And I'm going to follow up with you as soon as possible. You could even be more complete by saying, I will check in by 3 p.m. You may not know that if it's a family emergency, and you could say that. I'll check in as soon as I can due to the level of the emergency. So that's one example. Another might be there's a project deadline, and I need to remind my team that this is happening. So I've got a project deadline that's approaching, and I need to remind everybody on the team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a reminder. I'll say our project is due tomorrow. Right there, I'm reminding everybody, and I'm letting them know when it's due. Then the call to action is ensure all your reports are finalized and submitted by 5 p.m. today. So I'm making that very complete and concise. I'm saying 5 p.m. today, make sure all of the reports are finalized. And let me know if you encounter any issues. I'm giving you not necessarily a get out mode or option. What I'm trying to say is if there are any, please let me know, because by 5 p.m. this should all be done. But I don't have to drag on. This is a quick message, right? We're in a hurry. Project's due tomorrow. And ensure all the reports are finalized and submitted by 5 p.m. today. You got anything in the way? Let me know. Another message might be provide some quick feedback on a draft document. So you sent me a draft, I've read it, and I want to give you some quick feedback so that we can keep this going. Great start on the draft. So I'm letting you know that this is a good start. And then I'm going to give you some advice, very accurate, very complete, and very concise. Focus on expanding the introduction and tighten up the conclusion. And then the follow-up action is going to be, let's discuss more in our meeting tomorrow. I may add in our meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. or whatever time it might be. Just again, so there's no fuzziness, yet I'm not droning on about it. I'm in a hurry. There's really not a lot of place for questions. So that was effective communications for people in a hurry. Again, my name is Dave. Thank you.